Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I give you the opportunity to test your comic book grading skills up against actual results from CGC. In this video, we are going to be focusing on a 25-book modern submission that I just got back from CGC. This submission includes X-Men themed books that were published decades apart in some instances, and I am a huge X-Men fan, so I'm very excited about this submission. Now, just so you know, I sent these books off to CGC back in May of 2021. They have now come back to me at the end of July 2022. It took a year and 2 months thereabout for this submission to get back to me. And part of the reason it took so long is because these books were pressed at CCS, and that process does take a very long time. But I love the X-Men so much, and I've been trying to be very patient, but my patience has paid off because now I have the books back, and I'm really excited about that. Okay, so this is a test your comic book grading skills video. What we do in these videos is I show you video that I made of these books when they were raw, before they were sent off to CGC. We're going to look at that video of the raw books, and we're going to assess the book for any damage, any flaws, anything that might impact the grade negatively. Then we are going to give our best guess as to what we think the grade of the book might be. Once we've done that, we will pull the next 3 books out of this submission, and we will take a look at the results from CGC. We're going to hope that we got the grade spot on, bullseye, perfect guess. If we're not, if we're far off, we're going to do a little bit of a post-grading analysis. See if we can't take a look at the grade, work backwards, and try to understand why CGC gave the book the grades that it did. All right, that's all the information you need to enjoy this video. Let's go ahead and take a look at these 3 books that we're going to be talking about in this installment of this series when they were raw. All right, first up we have X-Men 126. There are actually 2 copies of this book in this submission to CGC. We're only going to be talking about one of them today. At first glance, this is pretty good looking, but you'll see right away at the top of Nightcrawler's head there along the spine, there's a little bit of a color breaking stress. So it's not a perfect book, and it is definitely not going to be a 9.8. But the rest of this cover looks really pretty good. There's that huge dark section right there. I don't see any spine stresses really at all. I mean, yes, okay, so there's one there at the end of Storm's little lightning, and then the one that I talked about there parallel to Nightcrawler's forehead. So we got 2 little color-breaking spine ticks there. But the rest of the book looks really good. That's a really good-looking corner. This is a really good-looking edge. I don't see too many problems. That corner looks a little problematic. All of the books in this submission are getting cleaned and pressed. So I think that corner will get helped. It looks a little bit more damaged than the press will completely erase, but I think it's going to help it significantly. On the back, at first glance, looks really good. That advertisement looks good. Possibly a little bit of color rub there, but not too bad. Some stuff that's going to get helped by the press. Yes, like that thing opposite the banana there along the bottom. There are some dark spots there. That will get cleaned up by the cleaning that they'll do with the clean and press. Especially, all this kind of darkness there on the edge in the white section. A lot of that is going to clean up really nicely after the clean and the press. So this book will be helped a lot by the clean and the press. It is my estimation that after that work is done, it'll get a 9.4. Next up we have, X-Men 129. What a sweet book. Glad to have this book finally in my collection. And it is a pretty good looking one. Now, you can tell it's not perfect. It does have color breaking spine ticks, some small ones. I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're kind of gnarly there at the bottom. There's that one in the corner. Yeah, you're going to see them really well when we turn this corner. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, little one there maybe. So not a perfect book. I'd probably say it's firmly in 9.4 category at best right now. Um, but the rest of this book looks really good. Um, there may be a little bit of damage there along the edge in Juggernaut's helmet, but it looks pretty good all and all. Yeah, I like it. I'll take it. That bottom right hand corner might have been a little bit problematic as well, but I think the press will help it. On the back here, you'll see lots of area of improvement to clean it up. It looks like, okay, so that along the top edge, I think that'll clean up. It almost looks like there's a shadow there along the edge of this parallel. I think that'll clean up a little bit. I don't know. Boy, that's a little bit stressful for me. But some of this stuff along the bottom will clean up. It'll press. Man, this book will be a lot better after the clean and the press. If you graded it just as it is, the grade would be in the 8 range at best. But I think the the pressing and the cleaning is going to help this book out a tremendous amount. So optimistically, I'm going to give it a 9.2. And finally, we have X-Men 130. Now, this is the most damaged book of the 3 that we're looking at today. You can see that immediately in those color-breaking areas there along the top. We'll see them again in just a moment. Looks like there's some color rub along the spine there, some damage there along the bottom and the corner there, some color breaking spine ticks coming off the staple, and then all along the spine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Decent amount. That corner is a little bit more damaged than I'd like to see. That above the 130 almost looks like a tear. It's not. If it was a tear, this would really hurt the grade. But there are some flaws there along the top. This is a dark cover, and all of these color breaking flaws, including that color breaking crease in the top right hand corner and along the edge there, are all, and along the bottom right hand corner there, slightly diagonally, they show up very clearly on this cover. So this cover definitely has an accumulation of defects that I think is going to take it likely out of the 9.0 range. Let's take a look at the back. So, yeah, there's definitely a shadow here on the back of this book. You can see it. That's often caused when books are, I believe when books are not bagged and boarded and they're kind of stacked on top of each other. The book that was stacked on top of this protected the paper from making contact with oxygen and kind of like tanning over time. But the part that was out and exposed to the air tanned and kind of creates that shadow. A lot of that stuff is going to clean up, but that shadow is not going to clean up. It goes all the way along the top and all the way along the left side there. So because of the accumulation of defects, I'm going to go with an 8.5.
All right, so now you've had the opportunity to see these 3 books when they were raw. You've assessed them. You've given your best guess as to what you think the grade might be. I've shared with you my best guess what the grade might be. In fact, I have them here on this handy little paper that I made over a year ago. And now we are going to find out what the actual results from CGC are. Now, as I've mentioned in the other videos, you already know what the 3 books in this video are going to be because we just looked at them in the raw. I don't know. I'm pulling these books out of this box at random, going from one side to the other. So I'm discovering which book is next as we go. So that's exciting and fun for me. So I can't wait to find out what's next in here. Now the box is getting emptier and emptier, so they're starting to act a little bit funkier and funkier. So let me just make sure I'm getting them in a way that is safe and sound. Okay, so I can feel what the back of the book feels like, so I can make sure to pull it out face down. I'm going to cover the grades up, and I'm going to show you the book. And this book is X-Men 126. Now, there are actually 2 copies of X-Men 126 in this submission. And I thought they were both, yes, I thought they were both going to be 9.4s. So that's handy right there. So let's see. Was I right about this one? Okay, you've seen the grade. Now it's my turn. 9.4. That's great. I am always very happy that I got the grade right. I'm often, if you've been watching this series, you know, wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm usually off by one increment below, sometimes by 2 increments. But it's always my goal to nail it. And I'm happy to say that so far I've only missed the grade, guessed a grade higher than my results once. So this is good. I'm really glad to nail this. I'm really glad to have this book in a 9.4. All right. So I nailed that one. Happy about that. Let's see which book is next. Once again, carefully pulling it out, keeping the face down because I don't want to see the grade early. Covering him up. Okay. Which book is this? X-Men 129. X-Men 129. I'm going to double check this, but the first appearance of Kitty Pryde. This is super exciting. People love this book, and it has a lot of value. So I'm really hoping to get a nice grade on this. Now, what did I think it was going to be? I thought X-Men 129 was going to be a 9.2. So I just hope that it's at least a 9.2. Let me show you the results. Okay, you've seen them, now I have to see them. Oh, please be good to me. 9.4. Okay, I'm totally cool with that. Oh, yes, okay. So as I mentioned before, often I've been wrong in these videos, in this video series, and I've been wrong by being 1 grade increment below, just like I was in this instance. I thought it was going to get a 9.2, and it ended up getting a 9.4. And just to kind of spell out why I'm a little bit harsh on my grading, I mentioned this in other videos, but what I want to make sure to do is I want to factor in the cost of the book when it was raw, how much it's going to cost to get graded with pressing and grading and shipping and all the associated costs. And I want to make sure that my total investment in the book is less than its value. And the value of the book is determined by its grade. So that's part of the reason I make these videos, is because I want to be as good of a grader as I can be, because the better grader I am, the smarter submitter to CGC I will be, and I will be more likely to be consistently protecting my investment, just like I did here. Having this book in a 9.4 is super great, and I'm very happy about that. Awesome. All right, so the last book that we are going to be taking a look at in this video is face down, back off, covering up the grade. What's the book? X-Men 130, the first appearance of Dazzler. This is a fun book. Dazzler's a fun character, and I expect to see Dazzler at some point in the MCU. So I thought that this book would get an 8.5. This is that right? 8.5. Yes. This is tied for what I thought would be the lowest grades in this submission. I was pleasantly surprised by the results that I got of the last time I thought I was going to get an 8.5. Let's see how we do on this one. Okay, as long as it's an 8.5, I'll be fine. Just don't be lower. 8.0, it's lower. Okay, well, that's disappointing and very surprising. My estimation of what an 8.0 is, I see 8.0s with a lot of spine ticks there. But this one does not have those. Now, it does have the shadow on the back. So, I mean, it is definitely a flawed book. I thought it was going to get an 8.5. It got an 8.0. So that's a little bit disappointing in that regard. You know, I think my investment on this is still safe. But it's a little bit, you know, edgy now that it's below what my expectation was. But I was only off by 1 grade increment. It just so happened to be in the wrong direction. So that's disappointing, but it's not like a significant gut punch. So I'm okay with that. I'm not happy about it, but I'm also not going to beat myself up over it too much. Well, let me know down in the comments what your guesses were for these books, and because I'm always interested in that. And don't cheat, be honest. There's no judgment here. We're all just trying to learn. And let me know what your reaction was when you saw the grades that I received from CGC. In addition, we're only 2 more installments away from ending this video series, so if you haven't already subscribed, I highly recommend that you subscribe so you don't miss those last 2 installments. If you like what I'm doing here, likes are appreciated by me, so don't hesitate to hit that like button. All right, that's it for this video today. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.